Epic Games had their 2024 State of Unreal presentation today, and it was something. They announced a whole host of things, including Fortnite creative for LEGO and for their racing mode, and just a whole bunch of shenanigans. First person, officially, not, player made. Fall Guys assets in creative, which is something. And also physics for UEFN, which is really cool. I'm glad they're doing this. Today, I'm going to go over all the new stuff they announced and whether creative's moving in a good direction based on their announcements for the year to come. Also, if this is the first video you're seeing from me, make sure to subscribe. I make maps. Thank you. So they basically start off their presentation by showing some maps that they think are a good representation of how far UEFN has come as a game. The first map they feature is called Boom Tycoon, and it does look pretty good. However, it only averages 20 players. The next one they show is Avenged Sevenfold's We Love You FFA. Now, I thought it was weird that they even had the name up like this, but it's because the map's actually been taken down completely. It was taken down a couple months ago, and before that, it was also only averaging about 20 players at a time. The third map they then show is Racers vs. Truckers Carrera Coast, which averages one person. I'm gonna butcher the pronunciation of this, but after that they show Domus Mortem, which is a really good map. It's made by Wirt, who is a very good builder, but again, the map averages like 2 to 5 people at most. They then show Anime School Simulator, which averages between 20 to 50, and lastly, 7 vs. IO live event, which averages like 10 to 20 people at a time. Now, the reason I bring this up at all is not that these maps are bad. This is not to dunk on the maps whatsoever. Epic is pushing these things as a bragging right that UEFN exists. They're like, hey, look at what people have made. This stuff is awesome. So then my question to Epic is, why do they not have any players then? What makes this even funnier is after they're done showing everything, the search bar recommendation on their website literally just features red versus blue and a bunch of other bullshit. And that's because maps like the ones they show to brag that UEFN has come very far since it was released do not get pushed to people. So anyway, really funny hypocrisy there. Moving on. They then bring up that $320 million has been paid to creators since the launch of UEFN. Now, this might sound amazing, and it's really great that people are getting paid. I've personally made a little bit off of this. I know a lot of people have made careers off of this, and that's great. I'm happy for everyone that can do that. However, it's important to look at the wealth distribution in UEFN because it's really, really bad. The 10 creators with the most players currently in their maps make up 113 million of this 320. And honestly, this would be completely fine if the things they were making were good, but they're not. They suck. Again, not to shit on these people, get your bag. I support that 100%. But Epic, can we stop pushing this stuff? Pretty please. Like I mentioned earlier, later in the presentation, they have a suggested for you bar pop up on the website, and you can literally see that it's just cookie cutter copy and paste maps. It's nothing special. The maps currently making the most money under all of these creators in the correct order is Box Fights, Zone Wars, Red vs. Blue, Free For All, Zone Wars, Red vs. Blue, Box Fights, 1v1s, something different, finally, more Box Fights, and another round of Box Fight. And I don't know how many of you guys have had experience making maps in UEFN, but typically box fights, 1v1s, free-for-alls, and all of these types of maps are very low effort compared to the amount of money they make. So again, not to shit on these people, I'm just saying, I wish there was a little bit of a better way for Epic to basically allow people that make higher quality maps to make some more money, because it's tough. Anyway, now to get into the meat and potatoes of what they presented. Okay, so good things first. First person mode added to UEFN is good, huge. I'm glad they're doing this. I think we can all agree this is a cool thing. Also, Fall Guys assets in Fortnite is not a bad thing, but it's also just kind of why? I don't know. It's a little random, but that it's cool. Whatever. Also, the main positive today is that we got UEFN for both LEGO Fortnite and Rocket Racing, which is huge. I'm glad they're doing this. These separate modes actually might allow for some higher quality maps to get put up on Discovery. I'm hoping we don't just go straight into LEGO Red vs. Blue and LEGO box fights, because that would be miserable. Okay, now for some bad things. First off, they didn't really announce anything on moderation changes, so AI thumbnails are still going to be allowed, which is not a good thing. I'm just gonna break it to you all. That is not a good thing. Also, no major changes to Discovery, which again, for reasons I listed for like 2 minutes in a rant earlier, they need to be changed, and it's not happening. So, oh well, I guess. The other thing that I think people are going to be very mixed on is that they're now going to be making Battle Royale in UEFN itself. This could be either really good or really bad. I don't know. This could mean that Fortnite will basically be shifting everything to UEFN and focusing very heavily on creative, which is good. I'm glad they're, focusing on more things creative, because it is very cool. However, creative is not in a state right now to where it's good enough to be focused on. Most of the things that are made and promoted are stinking piles of shit, and unfortunately more and more people are just going to see that as they start transitioning over to creative. This could also mean that Battle Royale will have more capabilities in terms of what they can do live in the game, which is good. That's a cool thing. However, I don't know. I feel like it's a little weird to make your own map in your own software for the game. It's a little too early to judge. I don't know. What do you guys think on this one? I've seen some very mixed opinions on it. It could be good, might not be. Who knows? We're not getting it till Chapter 6, however, so we have some time with normal Battle Royale still. Also, one more good thing is that they are adding physics to a degree in UEFN. This is a really nice change. It will allow props to have gravity and weight, which is huge for different kinds of game modes. I feel like you can do a lot more with a tool like this. For example, you could totally make Angry Birds now. I feel like that'd be kind of cool. But anyway, that's most of what they announced today. They also said that they were going to do some graphic upgrades, and they have some things with modeling. I'm not really on that side of creative. I don't really make my own models, so go watch it for yourself if you want more information on that. I'm not an expert. I also think it's really funny that they showed their roadmap of what they got done this year. Compare this to their roadmap they had planned. Oh, not to rush development or anything, and I understand things get delayed. I'm just saying it's a little funny with all the bad stuff that's been going on recently that this is like this. Anyway, that's about it for this year's State of Unreal. What did you guys think of it? These changes good or bad? My personal takeaway is that as in updates go for UEFN, we're going in a good direction. However, Epic needs to fix their shit before we transition fully. I think you'll be able to see what I'm talking about in a month or two when the most popular LEGO and racing maps are like box fights but with cars or something stupid. If you made it this far, thank you again for watching. The footage in the background is all from my maps, so if you want to go play on some of them, I need help paying the bills. That would be greatly appreciated. Thank you again, and see you in the next one.